Yeah, my kid's in a booster seat. He was ready to move up. He is ready, right?
Her car seat looks like the right size.
There are probably rules on when to move up to a booster seat, aren't there?
Rear-facing, forward-facing? I think I have it right.
Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Don't think you know you know. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat.
I know my child's in the right car seat, or else I wouldn't get in the driver's seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me, Ellen Kamai, the natural nurse, right here for another edition of Herbally Yours on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We are so happy to have as our guest Dr. Dana Cohen, medical doctor, and we're talking about her new book with some surprising information which might be new to you. A lot of it is new to me. It's called Quench. What a great name. Beat fatigue, drop weight, and heal your body through this new science of Optimum hydration. So thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Cohen. And I would like our listeners to know that they can find out more by going to your website, which is drdanacohen.com. And of course, our shows are archived, so they can check back on the archive and find the link, or just look up Dr. Dana Cohen to find you.
Thank you.
So now let's talk more about what you go into in Quench. This is a pretty large book with lots of information in it. So you talk about some, like how do we reverse this possible dehydration?
It's so simple. There is a very simple 5-day plan that anybody can do, and basically what the book it teaches you to find your own optimum hydration, and it's 5 days. We did it that way so you could do it during your work week. I can throw out a couple of rules that I give in the book. The first is 1 smoothie a day. I would love for people to get into the habit of really making a smoothie. It's and I just want to define a smoothie. A smoothie is a blended or masticated drink, and as opposed to a juice where you're extracting the juice. Juicing is fine. I prefer blending. We want that fiber. That fiber acts as a sponge, and it helps hold on to that hydration better. And it helps get it into your cells better than just drinking more water. So with that, I would love to talk about a couple of different foods that could be really beneficial and fun to talk about. And so the big thing in the book we talk about are chia seeds. I love chia seeds. Chia is if you've ever played with chia seeds, you know that when you add liquid to it, it forms a gel around it. You can see the gel water that it's in there.
Well, let's talk about chia a little bit. And for those listeners who really never heard of it as a food source, they might have heard of it from chia pets. It's the same seeds that are on the chia pets, which grow into grass when water is put on them.
Yes, and now there's chia puddings, there's chia drinks that you can buy, but they're really inexpensive and they're incredibly hydrating. So chia seeds, there's actually a lovely story that my co-author told me about this tribe. They're called the Tarahumara tribe in the desert canyons of Mexico. They fueled themselves with chia seeds and would run 50-mile marathons. And they are it provides this slow form release of hydration to the body. The other thing, chia seeds are known for, they're very high in omega-3 fatty acids. So the health benefits and are really powerful for chia seeds. They help with digestion and energy and endurance. And so some good ways to get chia in your diet is to add them to your smoothies. You can also add them to yogurt or oatmeal, or even sprinkle them on your salads. I do like to grind them like in a coffee grinder, because you get more surface area when you do that, and you'll get more gel. But often I don't have time to grind. I just take a teaspoon and throw it in my smoothie. Easy and so good for you. So the second food I would love to talk about, and all of these we really do lay out some nice information in the book. Chia also I think is probably up there with blueberries as far as being a real superfood or a power food. It's incredibly good for you. So the next thing I want to talk about is lychee fruit. Do you know what lychee fruit is?
I do, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, lychee trees grow locally on Long Island. They have a beautiful orange little fruit in the fall.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I have a garden, and I figured I could never grow lychee here in Queens.
Oh, yeah, you could. It actually grows well in Queens. Look into it.
I'm gonna next summer. I'm gonna do it. So lychee is it's a cactus fruit. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of prickly pears. Lychee is these lovely tropical fruits. They typically were from Southeast Asia, and because I have a cultural anthropologist as a co-author, I love to tell cultural stories. And these ancient Chinese princesses used to consume lychee to help keep their skin youthful. And we know that lychee fruit can help with inflammation, your youthful skin. It helps boost your immune system. It can help with metabolism and weight loss. So lychee fruit is really healthy for you. The lychee fruit is so it is very seasonal. Typically comes from it's not that easy to get in stores. I had to look. It's becoming more and more of a thing, so I'm finding it more and more. I found
well, if you come with us to our Chinatown trip, we take people to Chinatown, and we've been doing that for 40 years. That's coming up in a few weeks if any of our listeners would like to join us. And they sell them right on the street, right around this time of year.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
They're not hard to find fresh.
Amazing. I totally might join you on that. A couple of so you typically what I do is I cut off the ends. I grind the whole thing, the whole lychee fruit, but then you do have to put it through a sieve so that because there's seeds in it, so you have to strain it. But it's delicious. The problem with lychee, though, it's very high in sugar. So typically I'll just add it to water to help color the water, flavor the water a little bit. But it's very seasonal. So I often, as an integrative doctor, and I'm sure working for Costello, I love to supplement. I use a lot of supplements in my practice. There is a supplement called Oligonol, Oligonol, which is made from lychee, and it's a very concentrated. These polyphenols, which are these plant polyphenols, that is what makes lychee so healthy without the sugar. And during the winter months, I'll just open one or two of those capsules and throw it in my smoothie, or take the capsule.
I actually never heard of that. But I just want to remind our listeners that you're listening to Herbal Yours on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Ellen Kamai, the natural nurse at naturalnurse.com. And my guest today is Dr. Dana Cohen, medical doctor. We're talking about her book, Quench. And that's very interesting. I never heard of oligonol, which you're saying is the extract of lychee, but no sugar, just the gel portion.
Yeah, and actually, this is the same company that puts out AHCC, which I'm sure you've heard about, which is like a mixture of medicinal mushrooms. This company has over 30 human clinical trials on this supplement, and it's been shown to reduce belly fat, which who doesn't want? It helps protect you against UV radiation, and all the benefits that I told about from lychee. These polyphenols. It's a phenomenal supplement. I really I love it, and I take 2 a day every day, even if I have lychee in my smoothie. So yeah, lychee fruit is the second food I wanted to talk about. Do we have time for one more?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, let's talk about aloe. I love aloe, natural aloe. I grew up actually in South Florida, and whenever my mom burned herself or something, we'd run out to the backyard, cut off a piece of an aloe leaf, and put that gel on the skin of where you burned yourself. So we know that topically aloe is really good for us to treat burns and wounds, that kind of thing. But taken internally, aloe can help with heartburn and constipation. It can help with lowering blood sugar as well, which is very interesting. Aloe is a great really good for digestion is what I think most people use it for. But if that gel that you see in there is incredibly hydrating once again. So opening up some aloe plants and putting them, again, in your smoothie or just eating the gel, like a teaspoon of that gel from the aloe leaf, or drinking it in a juice. There are lots of over-the-counter aloe products now. The one thing I will say is that a lot of them are loaded with sugar, so you need to be a little careful about that as well. But all of these are incredibly hydrating fruits and vegetables. In the book, I give over 50 smoothie recipes. Most of them are regular, everyday foods that you can buy. These are just some fun sort of summer foods that we can talk about. And by the way, Chia is available everywhere, and it's inexpensive.
Yes,
but the other two are just sort of fun.
I do want to make one caveat with aloe. I think aloe is wonderful, and thank you for sharing that so much, Dr. Dana Cohen. However, if you are going for a colonoscopy, you do need to tell your physician that you've been using aloe, because it will discolor the colon. And they might mistakenly, say you have to do biopsies and things like that, because aloe will discolor the colon. It's actually probably a good idea not to use it for a while if you're going for a colonoscopy, and mention it to your doctor.
Yeah, that is, and I think when you're using it in a supplemental form and over long periods of time, you're absolutely right. The other also caveat too is that it can be a cathartic and it can give you diarrhea, so you need to find your perfect dosing with aloe. But if you're constipated, then it's a great thing to do.
Right, it's so slippery. So you're talking about a lot of these foods. What about okra? Is that one of them on your list? Because that seems to have that mucilaginous
Yes,
effect.
It's interesting. I have a patient who's Lebanese who gave me a really lovely recipe with okra. Yeah, that all those vegetables that are mucilaginous, that when they cook down they create that sort of slippery, are incredibly hydrating foods. We don't, we do have a few recipes in the book on some like a 3-bean salad. So some more hydrating foods, those kind of things. But yeah, okra's fantastic. It's I haven't tried her recipe yet, and I've never actually cooked the okra. I'm not a great cook, I have to be honest.
Well, what I do with okra is just throw it in a steamer along with everything else, and that's it. No additional preparation, and it does not have much of a flavor actually. So people might think it doesn't taste good because they don't like that slimy output that it has, which is actually glutamine and very soothing to the gastrointestinal tract. In fact, everything you're talking about would, besides hydration, probably be excellent for people who do have gastrointestinal issues.
Yeah, this book is going to help a lot of people, because I think we walk around, just sort of accepting how we feel. And I think we all need to really look at this first line. Are we properly hydrated? Are we optimally hydrated? And I can honestly say, even my elite athletes that come to see me in my office tell me they don't think that they drink enough, and that they think there's still certain things that they can do better. And I really firmly believe that. I think this is, and by the way, when I said this book is written for the masses, anybody
I guess
can do it.
We're getting the music cue. We have to end. Thank you so much, Dr. Dana Cohen, and thank you, listeners, for tuning into Herbally Yours, produced at the studios of 90.3 WHPC, Nassau Community College, Garden City, New York. For further information, email whpc@ncc.edu. This is your host, Ellen Kamai at naturalnurse.com, inviting you to join us next week for another edition of Herbally Yours. And we'd like to thank Dr. Dana Cohen for writing Quench. We will speak to you next week. And until then, we hope that you stay healthy.